Gino Tuesday. Good morning. How are you? Welcome to the Breaking and Entering Marketing Live News Show. It's the advertising news that you deserve. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, live, YouTube, LinkedIn, X. I'm in some chats. I'm monitoring some chats while also trying to do a freaking live show. So if you have anything to say, feel free to get in there in comments. Gino, how are you feeling?
Feeling good. Happy Cinco de Mayo to you, Jack. What are you
Thank you.
Are you going to go to Chipotle for lunch today to celebrate?
Of course, authentic Mexican cuisine. I will be celebrating with a burrito. I've been getting hot sauce on the burrito recently. It's actually an interesting thing here where I've really transitioned from mild, and then I transitioned into medium. Oh. Now I want the extra kick. I want hot. I'm graduating.
Building that tolerance.
The Graduate, great movie.
The Graduate. You're just like Sean Evans.
Yes, hot ones. That's another thing we should talk about at some point. Mm-hmm. Every single marketing conference, every conference in general, now I think officially has to have a panel that is just like a hot ones segment. It's one of them. It's like I've seen it at least 10 times in the last year. I think we don't need to do that format anymore.
Oh, it's the best format though.
Clearly,
it works. One of the best media moguls of all time.
Yeah, and the U of I grad.
And a U of I
legend. Well, let's get into today's top story, Gino. Mm-hmm. Very fun one, very interesting. It is all about GameStop CEO Ryan Cohen. Ryan Cohen and GameStop are trying to get eBay. They're trying to buy eBay, which led to one of the great moments of live television. This is why you do it live, folks. Yeah. Between Andrew Sorkin and Ryan Cohen. They go back and forth. Andrew Sorkin is like, hey, buddy, where's the money going to come from to buy it? You're like a fifth of the size of eBay. And Ryan Cohen is like, hey, man, don't worry about it, pretty much. Check the website. Can we play it, Ross? Can we play the interview? Just like the first 25 seconds is going to give you all you need to know.
Walk us through how you could get to that price and how it would work.
It's on our website. It's half cash, half stock, but the details are on our website.
Can you help?
That's pretty much.
Can
we
you
can
help
stop
our
it there.
audience?
That,
I love that.
That proceeds for the next 2.5 minutes. Is them doing that back and forth. Half cash, half stock.
Half cash, half stock. There. I mean, that is a great interview. Please, if you're watching, we want Ryan Cohen on the show because we'll read the website. We'll pull up the website too.
So this is an interesting sort of case of what can happen if you don't do a good interview. GameStop stock is down right now. eBay stock is up just by existing. eBay just existing. It's like, did eBay win the exchange or did GameStop lose the exchange? GameStop lost the exchange. But GameStop, as we know, is kind of like, pretty much all their value at this point is drawn back to the meme stock era.
Yeah, when it was like peak pandemic, right?
Peak pandemic became a, quote, meme stock. eBay, on the other hand, is in the midst of a turnaround. Yes. Which makes this all so confusing. Mm-hmm. Rarely are you they are in the middle of their rise. And eBay working with Joan Creative recently on campaigns. And you've kind of seen them start to get themselves into the digital era and doing things that matter and things that are going to push the brand forward, and it seems like it's working. According to them, it's working. According to the analysts, the stock is moving up. I think it's increased quite a bit in the last year. Yeah. Your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, I think it's important to kind of dive into why GameStop wants to acquire eBay or what's the thinking behind it. So it's a $56 billion bid, and I think the strategy of this all is to kind of destroy Amazon or compete with Amazon in a way. With the e-commerce business that Amazon has, it's just unstoppable. But eBay and Ryan Cohen sees the value of the brick and mortar stores that GameStop has, 1,600 physical retail locations, along with eBay's e-commerce and the ability to get the trading cards, the collectibles, that vintage technology. There's a real case to be made to kind of take on Amazon. So that's probably what his thinking was. And then also, Jack, you'll like this, and Gary V. We might need a Gary V impression here. But GameStop stores in this kind of deal would serve as the influencer-led broadcast studios.
What?
So they would do live at the GameStop locations to sell, live shop the eBay products too.
This is all very fishy to me. I don't understand why GameStop is the place where this has to happen. What is he talking about? You can go find a room in anywhere. You do it in your apartment. You can make your live studio out of an apartment. Why does that have to be at a GameStop? It's a little fishy to me. I know that there's some compensation tied to the value of GameStop and Ryan Cohen's compensation and his salary. So if you buy a company that's 5 times bigger than you, your company becomes 5 times more valuable. Ryan Cohen makes $1 bajillion. It's hard to not connect those dots, Gino.
For sure.
So that's one of the weirder things I've ever heard in my entire life. Making that case, it's like he wanted to buy GameStop now he wanted to buy eBay working backwards. How do you feel about the brand of GameStop right now?
I don't really know too much about it, Jack, but
There you go. That answers that question.
Yeah, don't
So
really know.
what about eBay?
I mean, I don't really have the best perception of eBay. I was like growing up with eBay, like I always thought it was like kind of fishy and like scam oriented. So I always stayed away from it growing up. I know it's changed now, but I feel like I've been imprinted on at an early age to stay away from eBay.
Yeah, like
do
you're gonna
you
get
share
scammed.
that?
No, my mom is a e-billionaire. My mom has sold all of my life belongings on eBay. So our household had a great experience with it. But eBay is a brand that I think it falls into that category of you want to succeed. Yahoo and eBay to me are the same thing. I think of Yahoo, I think of eBay in the same realm of like early internet brands that have stayed alive, which to be around for 25 plus years as an internet brand is really impressive. As a tech brand is really impressive. And to still have that brand perception is really, really impressive. But they're both in the same spot where they have to completely kind of rework their business model and leverage all the data that they have to now use for like, whether it's AI model training or selling that as an ad network in Yahoo's case, or for eBay to like lean into whatever the trends are digitally, which they're saying, collectibles are in, live shopping is in.
Yeah.
They just bought Depop.
Yeah.
eBay bought Depop. So that is all really promising, and their stock price reflects it. I think the stock is up 50% this year, and it's kind of the power of when we talked to Yahoo, Josh Line, CMO, they spent like 4 years trying to just rebuild the organization, and now they can come out with the story, with the marketing. Same thing for eBay. eBay was like in the dark for so long while they were kind of rebuilding and reimagining what eBay meant in the present day, and they've had success with that, with turning around the marketing. The marketing budget is working. Ryan Cohen specifically mentioned wanting to slash the marketing budget.
Oh,
He said that they could be way more lean from a cost structure standpoint.
yeah.
I think he has been a beneficiary of being a meme stock, which
He's a
has
meme stock. He's
contributed
got his
to a
riders.
shit ton of financial.
Like, wasn't he saying like he can just basically create more stock and like issue out more stocks, then people will buy it? His riders on like Reddit.
Well, if you issue stock, people will, I don't think that's a Ryan Cohen specific thing. Like a company can always issue more stock. It'll just create more liquidity for them to now go and give that stock to eBay. But he's got riders for sure. But this is one of the weirder, stranger interviews I've ever seen in my entire life. And hats off to our guy, Andrew Sorkin, our contemporary Andrew Sorkin.
Absolutely. One other note here about live shopping. I had a fact. I wanted to pull it up. Did you know 60% of total e-commerce traffic is via live shopping in China? It's taking the internet by storm there. 60% people live shopping.
It's coming. It starts there. They always have all the trends. They have figured out public transportation.
Oh yeah.
They figured that out. If you can do that, if we can just get our hands on some of that
I want one of those
technology.
high-speed trains.
You're not getting it.
No.
Ask our friends at Amtrak, the Acela.
Oh yeah, the high-speed Acela train.
Well,
shout out
there's
the mechanism on that new ad that they made too.
Tinfoil hat. They don't want you to have the high speed.
No,
they don't want
something's
you.
going on.
They don't want you to have the high
What,
speed train.
airlines are lobbying?
Airlines.
We'll talk about
auto
airlines.
industry.
We'll talk about
auto
airlines
industry,
later.
All of it. That's the top story, Gino. Let's get into the 2-minute drill, shall we?
Let's do it.
It's the 2-minute drill. It's famous. People claw at the doors. They say, we want more 2-minute drill. How do we get more 2-minute drill? I say tune in Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday on LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. Let's run it. First story, Adweek Creative 100 launches comes out today, Gino.
Yes, sir. It's one of my favorite lists that comes out. It's not just ad agency folks. They have celebrities. They've got like influencers on there. Shout out to some celebs here, Jack. You'll like this one. Olivia Dean made the list. And our guy, well, not our guy, but I'm a fan of this guy, is Kareem Rama and Andrew Quo from Subway Takes.
Great.
Cat's Eye, Bad Bunny. Along with that list, you got some agency leaders here too. So shout out to Isle of Ennies, Toby and Lori, Tara Lawal, Tiff Rolfe, Al Mary, Eric Rojas from 6+1. Anybody you wanted to shout out, Jack?
No, shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone. I don't want to pick favorites, but it's it's a list. It matters. There's not a lot of individual awards. I mean, there are, but compared to like the amount of agency awards that are out there,
right?
It's much.
This is a good one.
It's a good one. I mean, shout out Mary Adam.
Oh yeah,
Mary Adam is the GOAT.
Yep, that is
incredible.
A senior copywriter at Leo Chicago. I messaged her this morning, and she has a statement.
Okay.
For Breaking Entering exclusive statement. Mary Adam says, in the words of Ricky Bobby, I'd like to thank baby Jesus.
That's right.
For that.
Mary Adam. Can I get an explosion, please, Ross? Just a quick one. There you go.
And then also shout out to Henry Coffey, junior copywriter at Mischief and No Fix Address, along with his art director partner, Nitya Charles. Henry is a great friend of the program.
Fun one to kind of just comb through. Fun one to just kind of to sift through and see what's like the stuff that people are doing that is worthy of being on a list like this. I believe tomorrow we're having the creative director duo from Mother that made the list on the show to talk about that. Fun one. You talk about a big time agency, big time creatives at a big time agency. What does that look like? You know? Am I right or am I wrong?
You are right.
Adweek Creative 100 notable list includes Olivia Dean and Henry Coffey, our buddy junior copywriter. Next up, Spirit Airlines is Gardunzo Beans, Gino.
It's done, Jack.
In memoriam. A little obituary.
I would like to thank the time that I took a Spirit trip to Fort Lauderdale, my junior year of college. I think I got yelled at a couple times on that plane, but it was a beautiful experience with all my buddies to go drink margaritas
Cinco de Mayo
in the beach.
Is it true? I never took a Spirit flight because come on.
Okay.
But when you were on the Spirit flight, was it actually like a ruckus? Fort Lauderdale to Chicago?
Yeah, it was a ruckus. It was a time. It was a time.
Really?
For sure. And that's like one of those things that you have to pay for, like everything. Like everything is an add-on fee.
Like a bag? Like a check? Did you even have a check bag?
No, you don't. I don't think you can have a check bag. I think you have to pay for like your like under the seat bag.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't even realize the things that they're adding on.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you want to get in group 8 instead of group 14. That's $80.
Yeah.
So
what happened, Jack?
Well, they're Gardunzo beans. I mean, it's over. Spirit Airlines.
So there's no point talking about it.
Done. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
It's a brand. I wanted to ask you about this. A brand that has hitched its wagon so hard to price promotion.
Yes.
Is there anything to be said about that?
Listen, well, I think like the price promotion is like, when I think of price promotion, I think of like deals. Like when you go on the McDonald's app and you go on the app because you know you're going to get buy one, get one free.
Right.
This is kind of a little bit different because the whole brand was ultra low cost model. So it's like the whole brand was built around it. So there's a little bit of a difference. And that worked pre-pandemic.
Right.
And then it just never kind of launched post-pandemic.
They just got squeezed up. I think people are willing to spend more money on flights now than they were pre-pandemic. I don't know why. I don't have like a reason for that, but Spirit was like the leader, low cost, budget airline. Got all the negative press when it came to low cost airlines, which is sometimes a good thing because it reminds people that you exist, but oftentimes maybe can over time amount to a reputation that you can't come back from.
Yeah, no, you can't. It's hard to come back from that one.
Next one, Gino, Fox World Cup ad. We talked about it yesterday. We posted about it. People it just lights people up in terms of just getting reactions. But the World Cup ad from Special US by Fox Sports. Fox Sports obviously going to be broadcasting the World Cup. I just loved it. I loved it. I really, really loved it, Gino.
Explain the concept, Jack.
Well, the concept is that the tagline here is everything can happen. So what if the U.S. won the World Cup, one of the most improbable things that could ever happen.
Yep.
And then it shows what would happen if that did happen and how America would react to that.
Of course, it's America's 250th. They're hosting the World Cup. It makes a lot of sense here. It's a lot of fun. The percent chance on a Google search when Gemini showed me the answers here of U.S. winning the World Cup, 1.2% chance. 1.2.
That's actually, so you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance, and that's what this is all about. Do you believe in miracles? Mike, how do you say Mike?
Mike Eruzione.
Mike Eruzione is featured in it. Miracle on Ice.
I think that, the agency Special US, after watching this and knowing that it was Special US that did it, it was like, oh, okay, this is pretty Special US coded. I love the work that they're doing with Uber Eats. Just a lot of bits. It's all bits. You just like consistently follow a very tight framework for what your joke can live in. And that's kind of what this ad is. It's just like, how many crazy, as you like your favorite word, vignettes. How many different crazy little things can we fit into it under this tight framework of saying, what's the craziest thing that would happen if America won the World Cup?
And of course, your favorite part of this was Texas running out of beer.
Texas ran out of beer.
How about New York, Times Square?
Yes, and the last thing I'll say is you talk about getting a reaction. I mean, we just posted about it. It's getting so many comments and people going in, whether it's one like this would never happen, like America sucks at soccer, and B like Texas would never run out of beer.
Right.
So it's really, really good, and I think they do a good job with the ad. Next up, Gino, Ogilvy is adding Article 41 to the Ogilvy Sport and Entertainment Practice. Sports are hot right now for holding companies. Any thoughts here?
Laurent Ezekiel making a move here. He was the global CEO for Ogilvy. He's the CEO of Ogilvy. This is probably his biggest move for Ogilvy since getting that role here. So it's an investment into Article 41. This is a company that does NIL athlete partnerships, athlete storytelling, brand deal sourcing. It's really kind of the creator development for pro and like college athletes here. So they're moving into sports.
Yeah.
Jack.
Vickie Segar comes in. She's the co-founder of Article 41, and now she'll be the first ever chief sport and entertainment officer at Ogilvy. And it just goes to show the importance. And of course, it always starts at the brand level. Brands are putting more money into sports.
Yep.
It's where the budgets are going, especially NIL, college. Like if you can get a star athlete while they're in that college time, where they're getting all sorts of NIL deals,
get them early.
and it's like get them early.
Yep.
Now we've got our next, Adidas, our next Dove athlete.
It makes a lot of sense, Jack. We talk about it a lot in this show, media fragmentation. Where are you going to spend your time watching things while everybody's algorithms are different except for live sports? It seems like everybody is tuning into live sports at some point. So this makes a lot of sense, this further investment.
100%. I mean, live is the last bastion of hope in an AI slop world. And if you can go all in on sports, I think it's the right move. Article 41, based in Chapel Hill.
Oh,
University of North Carolina.
Nice.
Big time hotbed.
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick. He is doing
head coach
great.
is he still there?
He looks great. His personal life is great. All is well in Bill Belichick's world.
Next up here, this one caught my attention. Wall Street Journal posted this article. Megan Graham, friend of the program, nicely done here, but Zoom has a SWAT team. This was so funny. There's a nice interview here with the CMO of Zoom. That's Kimberly Storin. And basically, they have this SWAT team that's dedicated, task force, for how Zoom shows up in AEO. That's answer engine optimization, how you show up when you search what's the best video provider on your ChatGPTs, your Geminis, your Claudes, what shows up. Well, this is what they're doing. She kind of gives a breakdown of how they're handling this, Jack. I'll read off
please.
a couple. You got to have they have the SWAT team making sure that there's FAQs, frequently asked questions, on every page of their website. They have weekly SWAT AEO meetings to talk about this. And they've noticed that LinkedIn is right now crushing it in terms, like your presence on LinkedIn is what helps LLM cite you, along with Substack
Yep.
Reddit. So those mentions there help get you pulled into the search results on these.
I mean, you talk about the fragmentation of media. You talk about the fragmentation of where LLMs are getting their information from. It's like it's all from. It's like Reddit is the top source, I know, and then LinkedIn is not far behind, and then it's like every other message board or any other site.
Press
whatever.
releases too.
Press releases, yeah.
When I was doing
it's
PR,
like SEO. That's like SEO.
yeah, when I was doing PR, we never posted it to the wire. We would just do like just quick little like messages to journalists. But
Right.
now you should post it to the wire because that helps with that LLM search.
Well, of course, my first question is: will the SWAT team interrupt other task forces? You know, where do we prioritize the SWAT team if you have a task force versus a dedicated team? Can we identify a little bit of order here when it comes to where the SWAT team is in priorities to others' task forces?
I mean, it's a SWAT. I mean, they're getting
SWAT
in there.
team.
I mean,
Yeah.
that is urgent intervention when the SWAT team comes.
What does SWAT stand for? Specialized something.
Special-
SWAT stands for Special Weapons and Tactics. Gino,
That's sick.
that's so sick.
That's pretty. Yeah, that makes sense.
Last
Last one.
one.
I don't know anything about this, Jack. Teach me about this.
Yeah, it's the Met Gala. I don't know if we could get the producer mic going if Ellie wants to chime in here, but the Met Gala was last night. Always a big cultural moment. We can hear you.
Hello,
Ellie,
Ellie.
what do you got here?
First of all, I think it's really interesting that Gap dressed Kendall Jenner and Russell Wilson. I
Wow.
think that's
Russell
pretty cool.
Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook. Who's Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson is a quarterback married to Ciara.
Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook. I think that's really interesting. You know, the Met Gala is like the highest luxury event, the highest fashion event, sort of in pop culture. And so I think it's interesting for a brand like Gap to show up in that way. I think Chase Infinity, who was in One Battle After Another, is potentially the best dressed of the night.
Can I ask a question
Yep,
about
Gino.
this? Do they need to get approval on their outfits before they show up? Is this a paid to play opportunity? How or are the celebrities invited and then they wear whatever they want?
I'm sure it depends. Because I know Jimmy Butler is wearing Aloe, and I'm sure he is a brand partnership with Aloe. I'm sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is brand partnerships. Like Rachel Sennett, who just did the Marc Jacobs campaign,
and
wore
Venmo.
Marc Jacobs last night. So I think there is a lot of brand partnerships. I don't know if you have to get your outfit approved, but I think there is something there with Anna Wintour, who runs the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
She's still in it?
Yeah, she
good
was
for
there
her.
last night. I think she might have to.
Personally,
Yeah.
it's very Devil Wears Prada.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that movie
Did you see it?
based on. No,
No.
I did not. See it.
That's the Met Gala. That was talking Met Gala. Gap seems to be the big winner when it comes to consumer brands that people could actually get access to.
Yeah.
Gap. Zach Posen's the creative director there. Legend, Gino. That was the 2-minute drill. What did you think of that 2-minute drill? A lot to cover there. You talked about the Adweek Creative 100, Spirit Airlines disintegrating before our very eyes, and then you going to Fort Lauderdale. Fox World Cup ad is, I think, probably my favorite World Cup ad of the World Cup season so far.
That's a good one.
Ogilvy ads.
You like the cool?
That TBD, because that one has some legs on it that we'll have to see.
Look, we got
it
an
does.
exclusive statement here. We got. I like my 1.2% chance fact here. You did a good job too, Jack.
Yep,
I think
thank you, Gino.
I would give this an 8.8.
Assistants versus Agents is in the chat right now, by the way. Shout out Warner Bailey. They're like Hollywood's version of us, but just on a much bigger scale and
Yes.
just way better
Well, they're
overall.
Hollywood.
It's Hollywood. That's Hollywood. But they check out Assistants versus Agents. That's what we call a plug in the biz, but they're in the
Yes.
chat right now. Assistants versus Agents. I'm assuming it's Warner. Maybe it's someone from the crew. Said, naming my first sons Jack and Gino.
It's incredible.
That's a mistake.
Jack, yeah. Is it a true Jack? Is your name True Jack, or is it? Are you a John?
No, I'm a Jack. And you're a Gennaro.
That's right. People weren't supposed to know that, but now you know.
Your government name.
for the 12
government
people
name
that saw
leaked.
that.
Government name leaked.
All right.
Shout out AVA. Let's get into the rest of the show. Gino, do you want to tee up our first interview? Big time story.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna tee it up and then we'll show it and then we'll bring them in to talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tee it up, and then we're going to show you the spot, and then we're going to bring them in, and I'm going to tee it up now. This past weekend, we saw in Brooklyn Bridge Park, we got tipped off from our friend Brooklyn Mac that there was some sort of activation-like object going on in Brooklyn Bridge Park. We stopped by. there was no name of a brand on it, but we saw people worshiping squirrels. We saw squirrel balloons. We saw a squirrel statue, and we were onto it, Jack. Of course. We were definitely onto it. And then the next day it comes out that it was a part of a larger brand campaign. We didn't realize it would be this large, that it was Canva and Quality Meats behind it to showcase their new campaign, their new platform that Canva's building right now. So we'll show you the spot, the reveal spot for you all now. The meats behind it.
Look out.
And when you finally find that thing,
I'm the thing.
you want the whole world to know the thing.
Tell the world.
So you use Canva to make a thing. Lots of things. All the things. Everything.
Wonderful chef.
Then people join in with the thing. To make more things.
Haha, I like that thing.
Until the thing is everywhere. Next thing you know, it becomes a highly specific, weird squirrel praising movement type of thing. Until, well, the next thing comes along. Sweet little thing. Canva, the thing that makes anything a thing.
Alrighty.
There it is.
Nicely
And here
done.
they are.
We got Rafa Segri and Brian Siedband. Rafa's head of creative for Canva for an ECD in North America, and Brian Siedband, co-founder and CCO of Quality Meats. And Jack, what are you wearing?
Oh, after doing the investigation and getting to the core of the thing here, I mean, I deserve some flowers for my investigatory reporting.
Yes.
But, it's not about me. It's about Brian and Rafa. Brian and Rafa, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Hey guys, thanks for
What's
having
up,
me.
guys? Thanks for having us.
Nicely done, guys. Really excited to talk with you all today. Jack, how do we want to start this interview?
I want to start. I want to start with Rafa and Brian. What was like the first conversation like when you were talking about how you want to do this campaign? I also wanted to quickly read off a quote from Gordy, and it says, "Starting a squirrel praising movement isn't necessarily a great idea, but presented thoughtfully and tastefully thanks to Canva, even the notion that squirrels possess some sort of higher power can seem instantly more legitimate and ultimately kind of plausible. It does help that squirrels are pretty cute." I think that quote alone is pretty interesting, but I want to hear about the genesis of this idea, Rafa.
Yeah, that's a good quote. Yeah, I would say like we wanted to come up with the simplest and maybe dumbest way to show the product, to show the power of Canva. And, one of the things these guys brought to the table was, what about, it was a film, it started as a film campaign. What about this film? It's very simple. There's one person, it's kind of saved by a squirrel. It's kind of this, wise squirrel that, he sings and he sees things. And then because of that, she wants to tell the world that thing. So the concept, the tagline, the thing that makes anything, I think is pretty much what Canva is in the most simplest way of saying, because it's hard to name it everything that Canva can do. But if you say, is this thing that can do anything to make a thing, this is the simplest way to say it. So yeah, we took this example of a squirrel and we said, okay, let's put the product to work. Let's prove that we can maybe make this squirrel coat, whatever we call a thing. And then we have a short window to really make that work. So put that in the word. And it's not like something, you're not jumping in any trend. You're coming from something that it's pretty much nothing, right? It's a squirrel. So how you make a squirrel thing be a thing? And everything that we did on I'd say the pre-phase, or like this kind of secret phase, it was trying to use Canva as a product to all these wide postings that was around New York, around LA, the statue, all the activities around, like they were selling merchants and things like that. So yeah, we're trying to make a thing.
That you did. And then they culminated with the reveal and explained the whole idea of what we just saw here. I want to back things up. What was Rafa, what was your team's brief to Quality Meats? What are you guys hoping to achieve? Is this a repositioning moment? Is this just to further solidify your creative place in the world? Can you give us some insight into the brief?
Yeah, it's a creative platform for focus more on the North America market. So we wanted like to really show up. I think that everyone kind of knows Canva. Not everyone in the US really knows what you can do with Canva. We have a lot of super fans and everyone that is really into the platform and do it a lot. But we know there's so much people out there that we could understand if they understand a bit more what they can do, they would definitely jump on and start using Canva on the day to day. So we want to be broad, but at the same time connect with people. So the brief was coming up with something that feels kind of personal, but feels broad enough to understand that, oh, Canva can do all of this. So we will have like, we'll see like in the next days or weeks, more like product focused films that really goes, and it's really fun because we're using the squirrel as a character and then goes a bit deep on like each of the things you can do with Canva. But the main task was please guys come up with this big brand platform and let's build from there.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, is there a particular reason? Is there something about the Colt, a squirrel Colt that lends itself to being able to show off the Canva product, or do you guys just have a thing for Colts?
Well, Gordy has a squirrel fetish, apparently, according to that quote, thinking they're cute and everything, which is fine. But yeah, it's sort of proving the thought of, I guess there's an insight. The insight behind it is the fact that substance is great, substance is important, but like we're flooded with so many ideas, it takes like style in order for us to pay attention to it. Like style is that first entry point. Like it has to look good. Like an idea needs to be presented well in order for us to notice it and to engage with it and to pay attention to it. And so, that's the first entry point to pay attention to like a smart idea. But on the flip side, you could also take a really dumb idea and get people to pay attention to it. And so that was sort of I guess, the creative hook of like, okay, what's sort of like a dumb, kind of misguided, unexpected idea that could really take off because it's presented so well with Canva's designs. And so from there, this thought of like a group of people that sort of see squirrels as sort of the majestic creature to be worshipped. Felt like a kind of thing that like it's walking that line of like people do love and talk about squirrels, and squirrels do weird things that people kind of notice. So like it could be a real thing, but also it's totally absurd that people would go to that lengths.
No.
And so revealing that campaign kind of started at that endpoint where like this thing is already out into the world a bit, and it's this movement has already been created. And now we kind of peel back the story and show what it means, and then show how basically it turned into this movement.
No, it's fascinating to me now to see what directions this can go because I mean, Rafa, you've already alluded to it that like tapping into the squirrel and some other films to get more in detail of like the exact offerings. But it seems like also you've created a brand world now where you have a formula. It's like, what's an absurd idea that you can make happen using Canva? And like that could be the parameters for upcoming spots and just different creative variations. Are you guys thinking about that, or are you just glad to get this first part done?
We're getting this first part done, but also like it makes it very clear for the platform that yes, with Canva, you can pretty much make anything, even the most absurd thing can be a thing. So I think give us like this big room to play. I think in the past, like the Canva Brazil, we've been doing some campaigns that plays a bit around that, kind of bringing up, a new business for a celebrity that you wouldn't imagine, things like that. And we thought this is a pretty good formula because it's very true to our product, So I think because the product is the center, when you review, we're not like forcing the product, even though like before you would never guess Canva is behind this. When you see it, everything clicks. So I think that's what we're looking for. It can be something that feels very off from the start, but when we review, everything connects.
Was there a concern ever that this squirrel cult would take off? Maybe there's still a concern around, like, what if you accidentally end up being kind of like pulling the strings on a new squirrel cult that takes off? Because when we were there, when we stumbled upon this activation, the level of what I imagine now are actors. These people were dialed in, and they're grabbing people, and people were like spending legitimate time on like a scroll tour. And so it almost was like I'm worried about humanity in a lot of ways, But Brian, I mean, we have to be considering the fact that we might have just started some sort of squirrel revolution.
I'm surprised you didn't pick up an acorn hat when you went there to replace your detective hat. But I mean, that's possible. I mean, there could be a movement or a broader appreciation of squirrels that takes off, and it all kind of links back to Canva. So the bigger the movement gets, the more it proves the power of Canva.
Yeah, it was one not concern, but like was one thought that we saw that, especially in the last few days, that we had like more activities going on. It was really being picked up by people and more people joining and even following on social. Was like, oh, it would be great if we just extend for an extra week. But we did have like deadlines. We have to drop the campaign and everything. But we could see that if we extend a bit, this thing would grow. So thank God we ended. I don't know where it could go, you know.
Yeah, can I ask about the idea of doing like the real life thing, like the teaser thing, because I think this campaign would have done well even if you just launched the spot that you had and like that part of it. But is there a particular reason, maybe more modern kind of thinking of like using the teaser to also be the campaign? I guess I'm just curious about the thoughts there and like why do the in real life thing ahead of time?
Yeah, we thought it was an interesting way to really like do everything we're showing on the film before the film, you know. So if you see many of the scenes that you see on the TVC was done in real life, and we made it real. Like, so it was starting a movement. It was something that, so we were proving that the product could work before actually launching just a message, you know. So yeah, it was kind of I would say a different way. We could do the opposite and then just like, oh, let's bring more attention to Canva, but everyone will know it is branded. I think was maybe riskier because maybe it could go completely, you know, like blank and nobody would care. But I think we believe that, yeah, if we're selling this product, if we're saying this, maybe it could work. So it was a leap of faith that I think worked out. I think it was really interesting, everything that happened on social and all.
It's a brave move for sure to put out unbranded content like that and, you know, see where that goes and then tie it back to Canva. But to his point, I think it adds dimension to the campaign. It makes it more than just a commercial, like selling you the idea. It makes it tangible and it proves that it could happen out in the world. And I think it just, you know, deepens the understanding that any idea that anyone has, they could turn into a real something that's out in the world.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Rafa, is this your first campaign external above the line work at Canva?
It is, yes.
Congrats.
Wow, that's a big one.
So this is a big moment for you in working with Quality Meats. And I guess from this, like, what are you hoping to get out of this for the brand? How do you hope this shifts the perception of Canva and like what you're doing at the brand?
Yeah. I think I see as like a beginning of keep doing like big swings and keep doing more of this kind of work that people that are not only in our world really connects, you know, and talk about. I think that's I think Canva lives in a place that it's already like in the hearts of a lot of people. So like trying to make a work that really connect even with more people that doesn't know Canva, I think that's the goal for the brand. So how we keep pushing, you know, like keep raising the bar to do more work that surprises somehow. Where I'm not in favor of using the same formula all the time. So I think even what's the next thing that, you know, takes people completely, you know, by surprise. So yeah, and it's not the first time I work with Quality Meats. We work together at DoorDash as well. The guy's been great. I think the partnership is great. So this is one of the things I most appreciate because we have like this kind of studio, in-house studio with creatives as well, and they have amazing creatives in-house at the agents. So how we put the forces together to make something even bigger. So I think and I learned that they work very well on this way when I was at DoorDash. So seeing that again, it's really great for us.
Nice. Love it.
Love it. Fantastic.
Gentlemen, nice job. First campaign in the books here. We're excited to see more coming from Rafa and Quality Meats for the brand Canva.
Oh, it's fantastic. I will be, if you guys, I mean, you know, it's always, someone said it's better to be a cult leader than a follower. I believe that's from, what's his name? The guy from The Office, the old guy.
Creed.
In The Office. Creed. You make more money, more fun as a follower, make more money as a leader. So if you guys are looking for someone, I would be happy to lead a cult anytime.
Amazing.
Definitely gonna write that down and remember that.
Great, thank you, Brian. Yes, feel free to
Brian's got
write
that.
that down. Let's go.
As long as
Right,
Brian-
yep,
got it.
Brian is clearly writing it down. I can see him doing it, so that
Nice.
knows. I know he did it. I know he did it.
Noted.
That's great.
Cool.
Thank you both so much.
you, gentlemen.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys.
Squirrels on the loose.
Squirrels.
There,
on the
I
loose.
was thinking about the SIMP, squirrels in my pants. Remember that?
Wait, how's that go?
Do you remember that? Do you guys remember that? Phineas and Ferb.
Oh,
SIMP, squirrels in my pants.
SIMP.
Yeah. Step right up and watch me do it. Squirrels.
Okay.
Squirrels. SIMP. People are gonna know that.
I don't know that one.
People are gonna know that. SIMP, squirrels in my pants, Gino.
Let's kick off our next guest. Nice job with that interview, Jake.
Yeah, you crushed that interview. I can
uh,
take off this hat.
everybody just
Lord
tuning in
knows
now.
what this hat hair is gonna be like.
Everybody
Oh
just tuning in
God.
now for Samantha here. We just talked to Rafa, head of creative at Canva for North America, and Brian Siedband, co-founder and CCO of Quality Meats, to talk about their squirrel activation from their new campaign here. You can fast forward, you can go back in time. You're doing a timeout?
Time out, quick. So what we're gonna do for this one?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
To align everyone, we're gonna introduce the next guest.
Yep.
We're gonna play a spot. We're gonna play the Goodyear spot, and then we'll get into the interview.
Okay, you
How's
wanna
that
intro the-
sound?
you wanna intro the
How's
guest?
that sound? Is everyone good with that?
I'm good with that. You want to
Okay.
intro the guest?
Yeah, let's do it. Here we go. Samantha Deevy is joining the show. Chief Strategy Officer at BBH USA. Not just a Chief Strategy Officer,
No.
the Chief Strategy Officer of the year. The CSOTY. And that's according to Ad Age. Ever heard of it? And she's going to be joining us to talk about how cool it is and how amazing she is at her job, clearly. And then also, it's an interesting time. It's a great time at BBH. I feel like a ton of new business wins. We'll get into all that, how the strategy is playing into it, and how they've been, kind of on a big time heater recently. Also, the Goodyear work.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the Goodyear work this weekend. I was out in the wild.
Yeah,
and I
you
saw
called it out.
I said Goodyear, and we're gonna show it right now. But Goodyear, I feel like we've been following this campaign, kind of like this new platform for a little bit now. Let's show the Goodyear work, and then we will bring in Samantha.
I suddenly realized that I was no longer driving it conscious, and I was in a different dimension. Just going, and I realized I was well beyond my conscious understanding. Just going.
Oh, that's fire.
Chills.
Boom.
Loved it.
And now we got Samantha. Samantha, welcome to the show.
Hi. I was kind of jealous because I was just watching your faces watching the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of wanted to see it myself, but actually watching people watch it might be better.
I will say we're working on it, Samantha. There will be a point in this show, in the operations,
Yeah.
where you will be able to actually know what the audience is seeing. But for now, we just live in the Zoom chat. Thank you so much for joining. Gino, do you
I
want
was
to start?
going to interrupt. Speaking of
Yeah.
operations here, Samantha, you found some success at BBH here. It looks like 18 new brands added, 27 campaigns launched in 1 year. The strategy team tripled in size since she joined in 2023, Jack. Operations legend.
Operations. How do you reaction to being called an operations legend?
I've never heard myself frame that way, but I will take it. I do expect trophies now. So if you start calling me something new, I do expect it engraved in a trophy in short order.
Yes.
Speaking of trophies, you were named the Chief Strategy Officer of the Year by Ad Age. What was that like? Why do you think I imagine it's probably a tough question to answer this about yourself, but why do you think you won?
Probably my exceptional hair. Like, I just think it gave me a competitive edge as a starting point.
We were told to ask about the hair, actually. It was somebody?
Thank you.
What's
It
his
is
name?
like 80% of my personality, so it's important that it be called out.
Dylan Faust.
Dylan Faust. I got you, Gino.
can't hear you well.
We're just bouncing around now. We're gonna just go rapid fire here. We were told to ask about that. shout out Dylan Fouts. Our head of research, Ross, was doing some investigative reporting. He just so happens to live in the same building as Dylan. And so, of course, we sent Ross, go knock on his door, ask a couple questions, do some research. He told us specifically to ask about your routine.
Well, Dylan, also an incredible strategy director here at BBH, also has pretty luxurious hair. It's actually a perfect intersection of my fake answer to your question. I think my realer answer to your question, which is surround yourself with the best damn strategists, and you will be the best damn strategist. And I think that's what we've done. To your point, you mentioned we have been on an explosive growth path. And BBH has such a personality, such a culture, such a point of view. And it was so important to me that we not lose that as we scale. But I've also gotten to like build so much of this team from the ground up. And I built this group of the most exceptional and intelligent and inspiring weirdos that you want to spend your time around, that you want to work with. And I think this year we were called out because we were able to do that. And we were able to, I don't know, we were able to keep our soul as we got bigger and only become more ourselves. And I feel like that made me just even more myself and even more the leader that I want to be.
Yeah, 100%.
What do you ask somebody if you're interviewing them, like to understand their strategy brain?
Yeah. Sometimes one of my favorite questions, we actually did this at our year-end strategy. Everyone had to present it in less than 60 seconds and under 3 slides. Tough for a strategist. What's your superpower? And it sounds like super mundane, but I think it's so important. I don't want to build like an army of mini-me's. I have enough of me. That would be exhausting. I want people with really divergent skill sets, really divergent points of view, but I want them to know what makes them special. And so it's like less about exactly what the answer is and more that you have an answer and you know why it's like it's valuable to whatever brand of strategist you want to be. So know your superpower.
You know, right now, speaking of surrounding yourself with people, we've got the picture pulled up right now, Samantha. The whole team actually dressed like you. It looks like right after you won Chief Strategy Officer of the Year. And like you said, I mean, it does, you know, I don't want to take away from this award for you, but it kind of is like an award for the whole team, like the whole strategy department, of course. And I think you'd agree with that. But you walked into the office the next day. Did you know that the whole crew would be donning the wonderful, luscious hair?
I didn't know. You know, I was slightly suspicious only because I like to throw down a fit. And everyone came in looking like on point. And I was like, we don't have a pitch today. We don't have a bunch of clients in here. What's happening? What's that hot shit dress you're wearing? You look good. And so we walked into our weekly all strat. And then that's when the wigs had been added. And I was also really lucky. My little brother just happened to be in town. And so I got a brief moment where he got to see me shine. He was literally coming to see me for lunch. And so that was pretty cool for me. And now it's even funnier because if you go out into the office, it just looks like a dead wig show. Like they're hanging on everyone's monitors. And so it looks like I slaughtered everyone after the meeting.
I wish we had, can we get our hands on those wigs? Maybe we'll just toss those on next time we talk to you. I think that'd be a nice touch. I feel like
I would love that. They were like good. People were looking good. I think particularly some of the boys who hadn't had some long hair, there was a lot of hair flips. Like a lot of suddenly like feeling themselves in a new way. And I was like, that's what the hair does for you.
That's the superpower.
I do want to ask about growing, kind of what we were talking about earlier, but there's always the worry that you can grow too quickly. And like by tripling the team, it triples the chances that there's going to be someone that pisses you off or some fringe people. Like anytime you make your crew big, that's why I'm a big believer in side crews. A big believer in what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for?
Clicks.
Clicks. Big believer in clicks. But how do you make sure that you're not you're growing with intention?
I think you have to stay ruthless about not filling a seat and getting the right person for the job. And listen, I'm not going to pretend that's easy because it impacts everyone, and myself included. Like we are practitioner led here. You can talk to anyone on my team. I'm a hands-on keyboard kind of CSO, and it means you're filling gaps until you find the right person. But my God, does it pay off in the end to make sure that you don't just get someone into the role, but that each time you're still really casting not even casting for just the department, casting for the client, casting for people who are going to be jazzed and like stoked to come in and work on that piece of business, who has the right skill set to show up and create the type of work that we want to do. So I think you have to be just like relentless in keeping your standards high, even when it's hard after like 3 months and you're like, oh my God, this is such a good opportunity for someone. Just where are they? Making sure you still find the person, not a person.
That patience
Yes.
is critical. Speaking of the opposite of patience, speed.
Yes,
Good
great.
year.
Nice, Jack.
Good year.
You read my mind. I was just going to.
I was headed there.
Did you know I was going to? I
think we just operate. I think we're just on the same wavelength, brother.
Good.
We
That
do
was
this.
good.
That's what we do.
Taylor Grimes, friend of the program, when we had him on around 12
Good
months ago.
Good year marketing lead.
Good year marketing lead. When we talked with him, he wasn't able to share the campaign that he was working on. I believe, what was it? It was like the first spot that they did.
I believe it was Thunderstruck, or am I making
Still Always Forever with one Dr. Dre.
Yes.
Was that perhaps?
So badass.
And now we see here, what's the headline here? Fast is in us. So is this a brand platform? Can you explain what we're seeing here now?
Yes, I mean, our one, BBH, I think we do have a bit of a special sauce in reinvigorating sort of latent icons, right? Icons that perhaps have like lost their way. But we all know Goodyear. And I think one of the things we did here, and it's a real belief around BBH, is establishing a strong point of view from the brand. So before you're getting to any communications there, it's not a positioning, it's not like a lofty purpose, it's a point of view. It's what your brand really believes in. And it's what can orchestrate all of your comms that are to come. And so that's what's sitting under here, is like, tires have been forgotten about. When you looked at tire ads that kind of preceded when this relaunch happened, they barely show tires. It's like they're embarrassed of making tires. They want to save the world and be scientists. And they're like, no, man, like you make tires. And Goodyear, as the #1 tire brand in North America, like we wanted to really own that. We wanted to make tire, like pride in tires. Tires worth bragging about. We weren't going to let Tier 4 tires like take this premium name brand tire down. And so that's kind of the North Star. And you see that in Still Always Forever, saying we've always been here for these iconic moments and we're going to still be here. And then we wanted to take a more consumer lens for the Eagle, family of tires. And we wanted to actually have there be a consumer insight sitting at the center. And so the real story that you're seeing there is like, when you're born fast, it's there, right? When you're a kid, it's in you and you just want to get it out. So you're seeing the story of these two kids kind of in the future as adults and then coming back to that moment of like, when it's in you, it's there. And that's what Goodyear Eagles are all about.
Hey, listen, I glaze often, but I try to be intentional with my glazes, If this shit doesn't get you fired up, I'm sorry. I don't know what it says about me. Maybe I just, I'm a simple person, I just want to see shit go fast and set to dope music. I don't know, I'm sorry, but it works for me.
But I want to get into the insight and how you figure that out, because we rarely talk to strategists. We are talking with the best in the world right now. So where did you find this? Is this focus groups? How do you do it? When did you realize once you're fast, it's always within you, it's within us? How did you guys unlock that?
I mean, it was twofold. One, you'll hear this I'm obsessed with consumers. Every process now has to be powered by AI, but people buy brands, even if they're using the LLMs to do it, right?
Did you hear Gino
I don't know.
I was saying the AI.
No, it's the AI thing. You said everything's powered by AI, and then Gino in reaction to that did a.
I do enjoy
it. You were saying it's consumers. You love consumers. Sorry.
No, but a huge shout out to Will Rowland, the CMO over there, who he himself is kind of the epitome of this insight. And he was talking to us about what it felt like for him, the feeling he wanted to invoke. We weren't even talking about the brief. He was talking about when you put on the right song and what it feels like. And when you're going there and you're like, nothing can fucking stop me. I am on top of the world. I am in control, right? And we were like, wait, this isn't just him that feels this way. And so we did a bunch of IDIs talking to consumers about what it feels like to go fast. And then we even were doing it in quick turn quant tools that we use, these simple open ends. And these big emotive words came in. The thing that was so interesting is when people talk about it, it's out of their control, right? It's this feeling that overcomes you and everything drops away. And it's only in that moment. And then there's a million emotive words. And so what the whole point was, and this was in the brief, was that's the feeling we want to invoke. We don't want to talk about fast. Of course, we're going to fucking show fast, but that's not the point. We want to invoke the feeling. And in fact, like the first creative criteria that we had when we showed the first rough cuts was goosebumps, like chills. If you're not getting chills, then like the edit isn't there yet. And I think I think you can feel that in the work.
Yeah.
This is why Chief Strategy Officer of the Year, like listening to the client, like when he got excited or she got excited in that briefing session, and then also talking to the consumers, being consumer obsessed, finding the insight, pushing it to the team. It works for me, Jack.
I have a question. If that's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. It feels like it's in the day of AI, in the day of like you can find insights allegedly through data and these large models. It almost feels like it's never been more important to differentiate yourself by actually going and talking to people. We talked with someone recently who was like, it's never been like, marketers need to talk to people more, need to talk to real people more, and not rely on data points as much, because I don't think you'll find those kinds of insights. Samantha, what are your thoughts about that? Like with all the things that AI does great, there's obviously, you can't deny that. There also seems to be a focus more than ever on face-to-face human conversation when developing insights.
Yes, because you don't find it like even, and again, as I said, we make sure that our process is staying up to date, our power there. But for example, when we talk to consumers, there's definitely shortcuts that you can take to get to scale, like AI moderators and other things. And I think those are augmentation tactics, because when you're talking to someone, you hear that thing, you hear the nugget, and then you probe and you push. That's only going to come from really talking to people. And frankly, it doesn't have to be like IDIs or formal focus groups. It can be at the bar. It can, like you can talk to someone. Those are the real people. That's who you want to bring into who you want to bring into the brand, and actually getting them out of the false, artifice of like them on a, weird gray backdrop talking about speed. Sometimes it's better. And so it's really finding the ways to talking to people. And we actually have a whole thing that we do. It's called Silent Spenders. That is a reflection of that. It's a proactive thing that we do where we go out and we seek sort of, I don't even want to say underrepresented audiences. It's like a different view than how the industry tends to talk about audiences that have immense spending power. And it's kind of meant to be a training ground for strategists to make sure that we never stop talking to people. So the first one that we did was around dinks, just dual income, no kids, and better understand who they are and their motivations and their lifestyle. We were doing in-homes. The team traveled across the country, just really getting to spend meaningful time with people. And then we just released our second version, and we changed up the methodology a little bit. And we were talking to neurodivergent folks in America. And we actually at first just talked to people with all different kinds of neurodivergences, and then doubled down into ADHD, which now makes up about 10% of the adult population, which is a bit nuts. And it was like, and it's about reinforcing like the POV that we really believe in this. It's something we fund ourselves, we do it for ourselves, but it's about just like getting out there each time, finding new ways to talk to people, connect with people, and showing the level of insight that you unlock on the other side.
I mean, you guys like talk to people. I mean, this is just like, take notes.
Take notes. This is what we do.
Wake up. The other thing I was going to say, someone, I don't know if you'd agree with this, Samantha, but if you hear something from one person in the same day, it's a data point. If you hear it from two different people in the same day, it's a trend. 3 times in the same day, it's culture. Thoughts?
I love it. I mean, first of all, I'm into it. However, I'm not mad if you provoke the second mention, right? Because sometimes they think it, but they won't know until you ask the right question. And again, it's why I believe in real people asking the questions, because an AI moderator is going to ask whatever the next question is meant to be, or where the conversation is logically meant to go next. But a great moderator, which I think every strategist somewhere in them actually has to be, knows how to ask the divergent question or the side door question that gets them talking about the thing you're really after. Because if you ask the same questions, if you ask the same follow-ups, you're going to get the same answers.
How prevalent is it? Is that one of the main ways that people are using AI currently for like when it comes to strategy? Is it a lot of like using it for moderating those focus groups and some of that work, or because I don't know strategy that well, so I'm just curious.
I mean, I think it definitely probably changes agency to agency and what tools you're empowered with. I think first and foremost, you kind of use it as your little strategy homie, right? It's like your companion to like vet thoughts with. to bounce thoughts off with. One of my favorite use cases is I love alliteration. And when I can't think of like a P word, that means culture. You're like, do, right? That's a really sophisticated use case. No, but you use it to ask your stupid questions, to vet your initial hypotheses. So like, there's definitely that use case. And then there's incredible things that Publicis, is doing on this front, whether it's, synthetic audiences so that you can vet things with people on just like a real-time basis. There are things like AI moderators because qual is very time intensive. You're sitting and talking to one person for an hour.
Yeah.
Via moderators, you can do that, and then you can augment it to actually scale the findings and make sure, to your point, it isn't just one person, but you're actually onto something. And then there's a ton, there's hacking your way into faster briefs. Our timelines are only getting shorter. So I think there's a ton of really great use cases, but like anyone on AI will tell you, it's only as good as the prompter. And so the prompter is still the strategist, right? So it's still about the strength of your thinking and your ability to like sort of weaponize it for you.
Yeah, little strategy, homie.
Little strategy, homie.
Little strategy. I could use a little. I think
Ross.
Like Ross is kind of like,
GM, trademarked. I just did it, but it's
Easy.
officially trademarked in the moment.
Ross is a research homie. Ross is. Yeah. We got him knocking on doors. You are not. If you work at an agency, you are not safe. He will be at your door. All right. Well, Samantha, thanks so much for joining the show.
Congrats again.
Congrats
on the win and the
big
campaign.
Win. Yes.
Nicely done.
Nicely done. And we will talk very soon with a wig on, maybe. Who knows?
Ideally.
Thank you, Samantha.
Thank you so much for having me.
That was great. It gets you pumped up. I like the idea of like you asking about the real insight. And for me, I'm just all emotion.
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, it's like it takes a lot of.
I like to know what the brief was, like we see the ads, but like what did the brand ask for, and then did it actually achieve that in the ad?
Right, or did they do, or how? I like you kind of are like mapping out, going from insight to.
Yeah, the order is brief and then insight into execution. Like that's a good framework because then you get the brief and then the team does research. And the creative agency side, they have the insight and then they show the creative execution.
Yeah, you got to know what people are.
But sometimes we go right into the execution questions because it's just so dope.
Yeah, it's
but we could try it here.
You want a workshop? Yeah, we can do it live.
We can try it here with our next guest here, Nate Skinner from Squarespace. Nate Skinner is the Senior Director of Global Brand at Squarespace. That is a big brand, Jack.
It's a big title.
This brand does everything in-house.
Yeah.
Rarely do they use an external agency, from Super Bowl ads to a social series, which we're going to be talking about right now, and we're going to show you Renewal, the social series that Squarespace is presenting, going to local New York City, Manhattan businesses, New York City businesses, and reviving their business with a new website. Giving a little zhuzh.
And you gotta love the triple W, the www in the renewal. I mean, just a nice touch there. So we'll show it now. Show a little bit of the video, and then we'll bring in Nate.
East Village Meat Market, where a Ukrainian butcher shop, was founded in 1972 by the founder, Julian Baczynski. After his passing, my parents took it over.
Excuse me, I have to say something. Julian Baczynski, he was the Ukrainian immigrant. I spent about 45 years with him, and I greatly appreciate what he did for the community. The way we make kielbasa, it is special. Preparing the meat, grinding, spicing, drying, smoking, and baking at the same time. The bacon is about to come up from the smokehouse. Would you be interested to take a picture? Let's go.
The current website I made in 2014, it looks stuck in the past. I do want to modernize it. I want it to be easy to read, easy to order things off of, a section for donations to Ukraine, and to show people who we really are. I think we will choose the same website.
We will choose the same. I will guarantee anything that Roman will choose. I always love it.
Time to renew website.
It's ready.
I'm going to take you through 3 sites. For direction 1, we wanted to modernize the signage. We added the e-commerce section and donations, show the family story, and these 2 handsome guys.
Can I do some comments? I think it's great.
Very clean. Love the font. Shows all different sides of us and the team.
All right, number 2. This one is all about heritage and really trying to keep the spirit of the shop. So the layout feels more like a photo album. How are you feeling, Andrew? You're quiet.
Because I'm thinking. I do not like
Great. All right. And direction 3, we wanted to bring in the liveliness of the shop, the human aspect.
I do love that this one incorporates video.
This is nice. This is nice. Okay, that part could be skipped. Beets with horseradish. Ooh, strong!
So, time has come.
Є найбільший такий fear, що повинні йти, я думаю, з першим. Що ти думаєш?
We made a decision. Direction 1.
Direction 1.
It's better storytelling, and you can see the products.
It makes me feel good and it shows what I do every day.
I'm gonna ring it up.
You do it. It's your turn.
Come check us out at the shop or visit us at www.eastvillagemeatmarket.com.
Як скажеш по-українськи, що це є добрий вебсайт?
Це є гарний вебсайт.
Це є гарний вебсайт.
They have a website.
This is nice. This is nice. Okay, that part
And
could
here we are. It's Nate Skinner. Nate, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, what's up?
Thanks for joining us. Nice job with this. We had a lot of fun. I thought he was going to go with number 2.
You think so? I like number 1.
You never know. You never know.
You just never know. And this is going to be really fun, Nate. I guess to start, we can start with the social series and then maybe work our way back into like the broader Squarespace strategy.
Nice.
But let's start here. Why do a social series?
Well, I mean, we're on social, right? We have to do something, and I think a lot of brands go kind of in that sort of Duolingo route, or a lot of fashion brands are able to kind of show their products on people. And for us, that's not really our vibe, and we are a digital product, so we can't show ourselves on people. So we've been looking for ways that we can make social content that goes beyond just simply talking about our product, and also is sort of a little bit different than some of the more partnership stuff that we do. Of course, we're like on podcasts and we do UGC and all that kind of stuff, but could we actually create something that people wanted to watch? And we are all consumers of social, and social at this point, I think the only way that you really do that is either by partnering with someone that people already know, or giving them something genuinely entertaining and putting your product inside the entertainment versus showing your product first and hoping people pay attention, because social, no one's there to learn about your brand, right? They're there to be entertained. They're there to be taken to a different place. So that was kind of the impetus of it. We've had this renewal idea kind of banging around in the background for a couple of years. We've thought about doing something like this for maybe like a branded content series. And we've talked a lot about, we want to show off our customers and show off our product in the hands of customers. But like, how do we do that in a way that people actually want to watch? And it's not just like a day in the life kind of vignettes of, people making their business happen with a Squarespace website. So this was really kind of the vehicle that we were like, I think we can go and find really, really charismatic business owners who are really passionate about their business, and they don't necessarily care about being cool or famous or creators on social in any way. And sort of like that analog personality, that big New York City personality that they have, aligned with their passion and the way that they can kind of integrate our products into the storyline, really felt like a fun way to be entertaining first and then have our brand and product show up after.
I want to give you credit, because it would have been so easy to be like, well, if we do it for, if we keep it more focused on like the freelancers of the world, or like we focus on individuals creating their portfolios, that obviously scales way larger. Versus you're doing kind of the opposite, where like the East Village meat market there's not going to be a lot of, you can't really scale that per se. Like there's not a lot of local meat market opportunities out there. But I think it goes back to your point about just make it entertaining. So like talk about the temptation to do something that felt more like obvious per se versus leaning into like a very niche specific small business route.
Yeah, I mean, I think people think about us as a place for designers and creatives already, right? And I think we wanted to tell more of a broader entrepreneur story. We're obviously 100%, our brand is based in design. We have built our brand with creatives and with design at the very, very center of it. But that doesn't mean that that is what we have to talk about all the time. And I also think that in a social landscape, people don't need to see one-to-one like their own business, to be able to be like, oh, I think Squarespace has tools for designers, but they don't have tools for me, small business owner over here, right? And I think like by showcasing a breadth of businesses, it kind of speaks to the utility of our products, not just as a website presence vehicle, but actually we have a lot of products that service lots and lots of different types of businesses, and a lot of different types of businesses run their business on Squarespace. So it was honestly a good opportunity just to widen the aperture of who people think is a Squarespace customer. One, I think that there's something uniquely just entertaining and interesting about offline businesses, right? A butcher shop, right? Like they don't necessarily need a website, but that's where the sort of like character friction kind of comes in that makes it actually entertaining. Is these guys have had a website for a long time, because you do need a website if you are a business, but they just haven't really spent a lot of time on it. And actually the being able to kind of showcase what they do in a new and modern way without taking any of the character away, and having them be actual characters in this show, right? Where it's like, it's funny, the banter back and forth, and the young son and the old dad kind of like talking about design. Like there's something interesting about that is different than the design community talking about design, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Like
I like
there's a concept we talk with a lot of like people that are doing things on social, and like, how do you make an entertaining social video? One of the tactics is bring non-digital people to the digital world. Like bring someone who isn't like in the world of creating content, and get them in front of a camera, and they're gonna be infinitely more entertaining, because A, they don't care, and B, they're not trained to be in front of camera. So it's like they're just being themselves. They have no choice.
That's kind of how we choose the businesses in a way. It's like the business case, that's important, obviously, but is the person that's running the business, are they going to be really, really entertaining? So we did it with the Dimitri and Donna over at Peter Pan in Greenpoint, the donut shop, Luigi's Pizza in Park Slope with Gio, who he kind of takes off on social anyways, but it's because he's got this like larger than life personality that he doesn't know. He'll admit he's like, I don't know anything about websites. I can tell you about making pizzas. And like, that is interesting, right? Like that's actual content that people who also, no one's on Instagram being like, I wonder what website service provider I want to go with to build my next website. Like, and that's what organic brand is supposed to do. It's not necessarily supposed to sell you at the point that you're looking for the product. It's supposed to ingratiate a really positive perception of the brand, so that when you're ready to start a website, start a business, make it real, Squarespace is there. In like, you know who Squarespace is, you like Squarespace, you have an idea of the kinds of products and the kinds of people who use Squarespace, and so that's at the top of your consideration list, right? So we don't need to like be so like overt with that, and I don't think anybody will really watch it unless the characters are like infinitely entertaining.
Yeah, totally.
Nicely done. And I think well, I was just, when I was listening and to you guys, it was a great combo.
We crushed that. That
guys,
back and forth.
This 1-2 combo here is money sauce.
Kidding me right now? More where that came from.
I won't get in the way, but I was just taking a mental note. Everybody needs a website nowadays.
Nice.
Yep. Everybody needs a website.
Yes.
And then
That's
also, right. I believe don't you guys like own the domains of like, it used to be like Google.
This is what the Super Bowl commercial is all about, right, Nate?
You guys are like,
yes.
If you need a domain, you got to go to Squarespace. So it's like, I just want to put that out there too. And all the Super Bowl commercials that you've done.
Yes. I was thinking about this last night before I went to slumber. I was thinking about like, which Super Bowl ads do I actually like really remember? And one of them is the Squarespace, I'm a Stone, and being black and white.
Say the director's name. Yorgos.
You think I can?
Yorgos Lanthimos.
Lanthimos.
So that, and I was just thinking about that. Like, you
were thinking about that?
The fact that it was black and white and the setting of it, and then I remembered the visual of like all the computers getting thrown, and I'm like,
I'll give you one. I'll give you a couple as well.
Okay, let's go.
I'm gonna give you a couple. Zendaya selling seashells by the seashore back a couple years ago. I remember that one.
Yeah.
And it was Scorsese, I think, made a website too when aliens were invading.
Andre 3000 was actually in the Zendaya one as well. He was the narrator.
Oh, right.
They've been doing this. That's what I'm saying. They've been making Super Bowl ads for how many years now? 7 years?
This was 13.
What? Jesus,
Yeah.
Nate.
Enough
It's
with
crazy.
it.
Relax. Why do you
Too much Super Bowl.
why do you guys keep doing it? Why do you guys keep doing Super Bowl ads?
Well, it works for
Okay.
one. It works for
Yes.
our brand,
This
right?
is the answer I was hoping for, by the way.
It's a website.
I mean, if you think about advertising, right? And there are so few moments where people actively try to avoid advertising, right? They will pay money to not see ads. And the Super Bowl is the only time people really kind of get excited to watch ads. And it's not just like the day of the Super Bowl, it's the 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, it's the week after the Super Bowl. You get so much earned attention just by being part of it, by rolling it out the right way, by partnering with people like Emma Stone and Yorgos Lanthimos and all the other amazing people and talent that we've been able to work with over the years. Like, it's such a and it's the opportunity to make something memorable, right? And if you can kind of do something that stands out in that moment, like that, you bought yourself such an amazing piece of affinity in people's minds about this kind of stuff that it's really, really hard to kind of get anywhere else. So yeah, it's been really worked.
So
It
you
worked
do
for
the
us.
Super Bowl, all the buzz you get from it, everybody's looking forward to it. And then when it's time to activate at the Super Bowl and to actually make that spot, you guys choose to do it in-house.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Why the decision to do everything in-house, not hire an external creative agency? That new argument for an ad agency, general argument, is you get the neutral third-party perspective where you're not ingratiated into the brand so much so. You have that nice step out of it, fresh thinking, clear mind. You get some creatives to come in and bam, Super Bowl idea, great Super Bowl idea. That's the argument. What do you guys say? What's your POV on this?
That's a great argument, right? It's not that we don't believe that. The Squarespace has had a creative agency in-house for, it's 13 Super Bowls, so let's say 13, 14 years, right?
Yeah.
For a very, very long time. David Lee has been the CCO for that entire time. And I think, to be totally honest, I've worked both in agencies and in-house. I was at Nike before this. And I think one of the things that makes it really, really work here is that we have total buy-in from leadership in general, right? David and Anthony have been working together for that entire time. Squarespace was a much smaller company when they started working together, and the brand has gotten it's become a global brand that a lot of people know about and has a very, very specific point of view. And I think that having that point of view, that shared sensibility over those 13 Super Bowl ads, over all of the brand campaigns that we've done over the course of the last 14 years, that is really hard to replicate. A lot of the folks that we have on our creative team, they all come from agencies that y'all know about, like they're lifelong creatives. And it has paid dividends, right? Because we're able to come up with ideas that push the envelope because we kind of know what we're working with internally. It's not a couple of safe ideas and then a couple at the end that are like, and hey, we've got some curveballs for you here. Like, we have a very, very clear understanding of who we are, who is the right person to kind of represent Squarespace in a moment like the Super Bowl, and how to get buy-in internally on that kind of stuff. So I think what we've actually built, externally, we've built a great brand. Internally, we've built a huge amount of trust. And that allows us kind of the free reign to be pretty experimental and left of center kind of as a brand.
Yeah, it's one thing to have an in-house creative team. It's another thing to have buy-in and full trust in that in-house creative team. That feels like the difference.
Huge. It's huge.
And then also the talent of that team. When you build the brand around a really great creative in-house team, then you're going to, the law of attraction, get more creative folks in there that want to work there and push the boundaries. Because sometimes those in-house teams, you kind of go and you ride off into the sunset. Well, I got my cushiony job now. I don't have to
Yeah.
work. I don't have to be as creative. Like, this is it. But it seems like you guys haven't.
Well, they're staying busy.
Staying busy.
Super Bowl ads.
Staying
Super Bowl
busy.
ads alone. That means that's.
And then also just like as well, like the investment into like seeing the future of social series and seeing like this trend and be like, yeah, we can do this.
Yeah, like how does it work with do you even have to? I imagine you're obviously not selling the idea, but the idea of like, you know, you got to put budget behind it. You got to create it. Was that an easy conversation, or you like having to explain that? Like I could see someone being like, wait, why are we doing this? It's not necessarily. It's a very modern way of doing advertising.
Yeah. For renewal in particular, right? Like we literally, like for Super Bowl, we concept the idea. We have an in-house production team, but ultimately, if you're going to work with Yorgos, you're going to the production company that reps him, and it's a much larger production that we are aligning with that production company to make. With renewal, we do literally everything in-house, like everything from getting the talent. I mean, it's probably similar to what you guys are doing, to be quite honest. It's like we've got DPs on staff, we have writers, designers, creative directors, strategists, and we go and get it done. We've got 3 more in the can that we're going to launch. So for us, it's like extremely cost effective because it costs us our time, which is a cost for sure. But like renewal kind of started as a side quest. You know what I mean? It was like, hey, we have this idea. This could be cool. We kind of pitched it internally, but it was like, we want to, have you seen shows like Boy Room or Subway Takes or Keep the Meter Running? We want to do something in that vein with our product. Sound good? Great. Let's do it. And then it's sort of like a proof of concept. The first one we launched with Luigi's Pizza, it like took off. We got way better engagement numbers than we do for like anything else that we've done from an organic social point of view. And so it's like, all right, there's like juice in this. Let's keep it going. So it's just kind of like this always on thing that is running, and people stay because of the work, right? So they're not just working on like direct response performance ads. Like they're working on stuff that feels relevant to their own books, to their careers, and it's fun to do. So that's how we keep it going.
I think that is interesting. The one note from what you're saying is measuring the performance based on other organic social videos that you've done. I think it's hard to benchmark for a brand that like organic social will perform as good as it will for individuals or like individual creators. I think just inherently like that's not the point of the brand to be like a viral mega show, but it still is if it's outperforming everything else that you're doing from an organic social standpoint, that feels like it carries a lot of weight, especially if you're thinking about like if you keep doing it and you keep going and like you're staying consistent, that compounds so much more quickly on social. And then you just get more reps, you get more at bats. Like one of them might actually just get like 1 million views one day.
100%. I think like us wanting to build equity in this and have renewal be a little bit recognizable as its own thing, that would be great. And I think on social, it's like no secret. If you keep sort of repeating things and the algorithm gets used to passing what you're doing around to people who are consuming what you're doing, like that starts to build equity. And like our goal isn't necessarily 1 million views, but like if it happened, that'd be great. And it's not 100% out of the realm of possibility to have an organic piece of brand social go viral in that way. And it's the kind of social also that like fits our brand, right? We're not going to have the same kind of like viral brand moments that a Duolingo in the past has had. You know what I mean? Like, so it feels like contextual to what people expect from Squarespace. And we're kind of like playing in a lane that feels like high craft, entertaining, fun, but also like Squarespacey. So it doesn't feel like we're selling out too much in order to get those views, you know?
No, it feels accessible. That's the word that popped into my head.
You're helping these guys out. You're helping these
I appreciate
small
it.
businesses out. Like that's why I really enjoyed this. Like it wasn't like to me, it wasn't a wasted time, and like I enjoyed it, and like I saw the value of what you're bringing to these businesses. Like websites are freaking really hard.
Yeah, I appreciate. There's no. I mean, I would have loved this as an ad.
50% off?
Ad person, but yeah, like halfway through, it's just like if you want your website to look like Luigi's, contact your local Squarespace reps.
QR codes are coming.
Yeah, you're just gonna. Yes, I would like. We need the logo bigger.
Hey, Nate, any idea on when the next ones will come out, or if we can know who the next
a little scoop
next small businesses are?
Yeah. We've got 3 more coming out. One is pretty imminent, and then we're gonna kind of go on like a once every couple of weeks kind of cadence. We have East Village Hats, a hat shop in the East Village, Dobbin Street Vintage, a vintage shop in Greenpoint, and Cindy's Guitars, which Cindy hand makes electric guitars in a little studio actually right down the street from where our offices is on Carmine Street in the West Village.
Nice.
So those are the next 3 to drop.
You're gonna like blow. The busissises are gonna do so much better now.
Yeah.
They're gonna get so much traffic. So it's
how'd you find the hat person?
Our intrepid team of small business fans, it's just people inside Squarespace. We know who our customers are, and a lot of these people are our customers. Some actually aren't. Some were converting to Squarespace customers. But we've got a huge list we put together. Nice. Sometimes people DM us. Feel free to DM us if you've got any renewal suggestions, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in New York. It all has been in New York, but we do business everywhere.
Yeah, expand the horizons. Well,
right.
Yeah, it's amazing. You don't have to answer this, but it is my requirement. I gotta ask about. Are we going for 15 years? 15 years or 14 years straight?
I mean,
are you kidding me? That's what they're doing a Super Bowl ad.
Real scoop here, huh?
You did not have to answer. I want you to know.
I got the scoop just now.
I thought we were on a hot streak. I thought we were going on a hot streak.
I love it. No,
never say never, right?
You don't have to answer. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the guy that jinxes something. But I had to ask.
Well, you didn't even let him respond.
I mean, never say never. Who knows at this point?
Thank you, Nate. Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you bearing with that scoop question. I had to do it. That's why we do it.
That's what you can expect when you come here again on your live show.
Yeah, right. Just a quick interrogation. Just put you on the spot.
No, we had a lot of fun, Nate. Thanks so much for coming on. This is a great social series.
Yeah, guys, this was awesome. Thanks for having me on. Let's do it again.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you, Nate. We'll see you very soon. That was Nate Skinner, leading brand for Squarespace. That was the live show. That was the live show.
That was a good show overall.
Great crew.
Ellie's just
star-studded list. Yeah, Ellie's. Oh God,
get on with it.
She's
I had fun.
Get me home. What?
Yeah, you were not giggling.
Oh my God, giggly squad. That's the end of the show. If you don't want to hear about our personal lives and whatever in the post-show debrief, you are excused.
We'll be back tomorrow.
We'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time on LinkedIn, X, and YouTube. Thank you for joining. Time for the post show.
Time for the post show here, and if you're just tuning in now, this is everybody's favorite part of the show. We got the producer Cam here. We're back into our Wall Street office in New York City. Last episode we were in LA.
Yeah. Oh my God. I want to fill everyone in a little behind the scenes. When we were in LA, the Rodecaster video, which is essentially like the brain of the live stream. If like that thing doesn't work,
the motherboard,
nothing works. Ross is holding up to the screen. It was not turning on. And so it was just JR, Ellie, myself, and Gino. So there's about a 5-minute stretch there where we were like, we just won't be able to go live because this thing's not working.
Yeah.
But then
you can go iPhone. Can't you just put your iPhone horizontal?
If JR is here, I just want to get his thoughts from that experience. If he's here, if JR is around. Is he not? Is he around? No, maybe give him like a, yep, there you go, Ellie. Yep, wave over. I would like to hear what was going through your head, JR, during the pre-stream on Thursday when the Rodecaster was not turning
on. There was that stretch where I was just like, I think I'm just going to get on a plane and go back because I usually I have an idea of how to fix something. I had no idea what to do, but it worked.
You ended up just plugging it into a different cord, right?
Yeah, it was just the cord.
Well, if anybody from Rode is watching this, please reach out to us. We want to have a couple conversations about how we can prevent this scare from happening again. And we do. I mean, you know, the brand is very notable.
I was gonna throw up.
Yeah.
I was gonna throw up. I was so worried. It's the worst. But then when it turned on, exuberance.
Yes.
I felt like I was on top of the world. We could do no wrong.
And then we crushed the show. And then we crushed it.
Totally
in
crushed
LA.
it. Do you like LA?
I haven't
Do
seen.
you like
I
LA?
mean, I've never been there, not for work, but it's beautiful. I've never like had gone out there and like.
Oh yeah, no, me neither.
Yeah.
I never really actually experienced LA.
My thing is I like the morning too much.
Oh,
You
so
know what I'm talking about?
you're like behind when you wake up.
Yes.
In LA, everyone else in New York is like having lunch.
Yeah, I need to win the mornings. I can't lose.
What does
the
that
morning.
mean? What the fuck does that mean?
I need to be East Coast timing so I can be up the earliest to get my day started ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
I need that.
Mamba mentality.
I don't win the night. Like I'll leave work early.
Oh, I win the night. I win the night.
In LA, you win the night because you work later than everybody else and you can get ahead at nighttime. But I'd rather win the morning.
Dance with my dogs in the nighttime.
Ross, how was your weekend? You had a wedding?
Oh yeah, let's hear about it, Ross. Did you do anything fun? You meet anyone?
I didn't get married, but I was at a wedding. Saturday was the day. South Carolina. It was great. Great to see family. Great to hang out with everybody.
South Carolina.
Yes.
Nice.
Had some great fish, some grouper. Grouper was good. I don't think I've ever had grouper.
You don't
Yeah.
strike me as the type that would be able to enjoy grouper.
It was pretty good. On a sandwich. I did not catch it myself. Ellie just asked.
They served that at the wedding? Grouper?
No, this was at a dive bar restaurant during.
Oh, nice.
It was
You should.
pre-day.
You cannot eat.
Yeah, that's what we do in Lombard.
That's what you do in South Carolina as well.
Yeah, I could see it being good in
Like a
South
fish
Carolina
fry.
if it's
Really
on,
good
if it's
fish.
on the ocean.
Fish
It's
fry.
not like we're going to like freaking Ellie's East Village dive bars.
No.
Ellie, you spent the weekend in LA. How was it?
It was so great.
Did you
Weather
go to a
was
concert?
nice. I did. I went to Beach Life Fest. Beach Life
Say you'll
Festival.
never let me go.
Yeah, I saw Group Love perform Tongue Tied.
Oh my god.
And I saw the Chainsmokers and Flip Turn and Duran Duran.
Wow, what a
Duran
lineup.
Duran. What are they?
What were you doing
pretty
there? Did
famous.
you have fun? I don't like festivals.
I had so much fun. I have like a bug now. Like I want to go to Coachella.
Ooh,
Ellie,
we can make that happen
We could
for you,
send
Ellie.
you. We could send you.
If anyone's watching this one,
A lot of
Influencer
A lot of
trip.
CMOs watching the show.
Ellie, influencer
so
trip.
much content for you.
Jesus, Ellie.
Very nice.
Relax.
Send me to Coachella.
What was your favorite? The Chainsmokers?
Yeah, the Chainsmokers was insane. I couldn't believe it. I was expecting like no shade to the Chainsmokers, but like 2015, 2016, like kind of millennial
Best.
core.
Hey,
The best.
No, I mean it, like derogatory at YouTube. Like I know we were listening to Chainsmokers in high school.
of course. No, freshman year of
freshman year of
college,
college.
closer.
College.
Chainsmokers. Shit was
No,
fire.
they were crazy. They were like doing all like the DJ
Yeah, they're veterans.
stuff. Like it was crazy.
They know they're
There's
so
like-
good. They remind me of they're like Two Friends.
Yeah.
Like, Two Friends is just if you go to a Two Friends concert, it's gonna be a good
That was
time.
my
Yeah.
two friends.
Well, they have experience.
I used to like play soccer.
Big Booty Mix.
Big Booty Mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big-
Big Booty Volume 2, I think.
Someone I knew, I went to a party that he was hosting. He bought the pre-release of Big Booty Mix Volume 18
Which is it?
for the party.
That's so sick.
Like it came out like a week after, but he bought the pre-release so that he could play it during the party.
So smart.
It was probably like only like $10. I don't know.
That's a great investment.
Great investment.
And it's just
If,
talking
if everyone just chips in 50 cents.
Yeah.
But that, yeah, I think Chainsmokers, I think Two Friends are both kind of the same thing. It's how I feel about the these like DJs.
Yeah,
It-
it felt
like
like
if-
I was at like a Fred again situation.
But even like the DJ, this doesn't apply for maybe Two Friends more so, but like
Dead
DJs that
Mouse.
don't have any
Dead Mouse
songs, DJs that don't have any songs, I think still hold a place. Like they just know there's something to be said about curating a vibe.
Daft Punk.
Maybe 3 or 4 of their own songs.
Yeah.
And then everything else was just like they were just
They get
flipping
it.
through.
Play the hits. Play the hits. Very opposite like Dave Matthews Band or Fish or Dead and Company, where like
Be careful now.
they don't care about
they
don't care about their audience. They just play whatever they want, and then
the audience loves
it. Well, they love talking about it.
They love
They
My
love talking about
my
it.
cousins were just at the Sphere for
Grateful.
I think Fish.
Oh, Fish.
I think Fish. Was
Fans.
PHANS.
Yeah,
Fish
yeah.
fans.
Yeah, I mean, they're these people are average. Like the average fan goes to like 100 concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
They're obsessed.
They've been
Yeah. Jam bands.
Jam bands. Yeah. Dave Matthews Band similar.
It's like the live show. It's like different every day.
Good point.
Like it's
Can
like
you imagine
you're
if we
gonna
put
get a
out the
different
same
set-
recording every day?
different set every day. We're kind of like a jam band of ad news.
Totally. If there was ever one, it would be us. Yeah, everyone always says they need more jam bands of ad news.
I think Ross is. I think Ross is gonna do a little self promo right now.
No, that's not
That's all
happening.
good.
That's a paid thing.
But lovely.
Listen,
we will be back
love it.
tomorrow.
Appreciate
I have to
everyone.
do like
Thank
admin
you.
stuff.
Okay.
I don't want to have to do it, but I had a lot of fun. Like
stuff.
the live show is like my favorite part of the day. Everybody, thanks for joining on. Now I got to go do admin stuff.
Thanks, everyone. We're back 11 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow and Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We are live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. If you missed the show, it will be on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube for you to watch. Great show today. Thank you all for tuning in. Enjoy your afternoons. We will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I would love to have end credits